First of all, I would like to thank Tim and Evans Foundation and all the team for inviting us here and be partners at this great event. In the next 10 minutes, I will tell you a story about our local initiatives to build media literacy education in Romania. Feel free to be inspired or do criticize us and tell us, no, you guys, you got it all wrong. We are free to any opinion. How did we come up with the idea for this enterprise? First of all, I will tell you a bit about the circumstances in Romania. As you may know, Romania is a post-communist democracy, and that influences still what happens in terms of policy and education and funding and society in general, and also in terms of media literacy education. We do have a good presence of digital media, but still only half of the population is using internet, and that's happening mainly in urban areas, while 70% of the country is a rural area. As in many countries in the region, as I found out from a recent survey that we did with people doing media education in the region, the field of media education is it's not very known. I still have friends who ask me what's media education when I tell them what I do. The better understanding is they ask me if I train journalists, so that's the main understanding about media education. We do have a centralized education system. That means it is difficult to have easy reforms and innovation in education. And so it is very difficult to have media literacy education in schools. So there are no media educators, lack of policy, lack of or limited research, and just a few NGO initiatives. But as you see, the focus is on safer internet, film literacy. That is because of the European funding focus as well, and also civic and human rights focus. I used to work for 11 years in a human rights organization called Active Watch, and the media education program there had a focus on human rights and civic participation. So we have this idea. We are very ambitious. We want media literacy education in any learning situation for any age group. So very ambitious task. Our enterprise for this is the legally set up association. And the idea, finally, is to build a community of practice that should spread like an octopus nationally, and why not regionally, in community in which practitioners of media literacy education come together, share practice. So we are very much in line with what David said earlier, it seems. Because in the 11 years I've been doing media literacy education, I understood that the best thing to do this is to just bring people together. Social learning for me becomes more and more interesting, also in terms of collective learning and interactive learning. Our goal is, of course, to grow media literacy, and our target groups are children, youth, and also adults, because, as I was saying, the field is not there. Very few adults have media literacy levels. And the idea is to have just the ability to be able to interact with the media socially and culturally in social and cultural situations. So it's more of a participatory model of media education and not the protective one that is based on the media effects, and that unfortunately the media and the mainstream media is actually promoting. What we want, it's, as I was saying, the community of practitioners, but we don't have the practitioners. So in order to have the practitioners, we understood that we have to start with developing resources and also training courses and workshops. What we have for this, at this point, is media literacy expertise, journalism expertise, a voluntary team of approximately 10 people that is working differently, but they are contributing, friend support. Our website was done with voluntary work, and it's actually hosted with help of a friend association, and Bogdan is here, a member of that association. So we do things with friend support. Of course, we don't have funds. We have almost 1 year activity. We didn't expect we'll do lots of fundraising. The idea is to try to build a fundraising that is based on donors and sponsor support. Project-based funding is very good, but actually is very limited. And we could see, I'm sorry, European Commission, but the objectives and the program, the funding programs that we have at our disposal, they are very limited, and they are limited to safe internet, ICT, e-learning, and film literacy. I'm proud to present to you the 4 honorary members in our advisory board, and we've already benefited from their precious advice, and 3 of them are here with us today, and I thank you for your availability and for your precious guidance. David Buckingham, Evelyn Bevor, Christoforos Christoforou, and Vitor Rea Batista from Portugal. This, I think I've already told you the idea of the community, and we want to work a lot with teachers and librarians because we think that they have the tools and the venues to just contribute to that octopus I was telling you about earlier. If you try our initiative the way we did it, I'm telling you, most of the activity in the first year is not about media literacy education. It's about building the enterprise. Visual identity, website, contacts database, networking, fundraising. We did some fundraising that didn't bring any funds. So we need a lot of patience and motivation to go further. And one of the things I was telling earlier, that media literacy is not very known in Romania, so we are thinking to do a lot of PR and advocacy, and I'm looking for that person that can do the marketing for our content. I'm not very good at that, and David was actually saying that the discourse about media literacy education is very conceptual, and it's very difficult to make people understand why it's necessary and urgent. It is necessary and urgent, you just don't know it, but you can't be so arrogant with the people. We do have a media education blog that we are proud of. This happens in a context that this is actually the first media education blog that I know in Romanian language. We did manage to do some media literacy work, and what we did was to make a tool, an online tool. This is on that link, web link. If you enter, you'll find a workshop proposal form. It's just a guidance for anybody with some training abilities or media education abilities that could, I don't know, do a 2 hours workshop with their friends or colleagues about any topic, like critical understanding of the news, for instance. That happens in Timișoara. A former university teacher became very much interested in media literacy education. in the recent years, and he saw our website and he said, look, I want to do this workshop with students about news production and advertising. Can you help me? So we built together this workshop. Our role is to help him with resources and advice and expertise, and also with promoting the workshop. And the rest is with the professor. So this is sort of a way to decentralize something that we could keep at the association, which is very small, is everything from scratch. I have 1 minute left, so I will go further. Resources, we started to produce some of them to be online, open resources, free to use for teachers and parents. And we also would like to adapt into Romanian language from resources that are available online in English and French. If you have done networking, you know how time-consuming this is, but I think it's very useful to do it. And we try to do this not only nationally, but also in the southeastern region of Europe. And tomorrow we will have a workshop about this. Practitioners for the region are here to do a brainstorming and understand if and how we could do a network of media literacy practitioners that could come together and become a pressure group for policy, do a partnership together, and create resources together. Thank you very much for your attention. I was a bit longer than 12 minutes, and of course, I'm waiting for your advice or criticism, or whatever it is. Thank you.